Welcome to the 38th video of the ChurchPlus tutorials. My name is Emmanuel Babalola. In this video, I'll be throwing more light as regards to what funds are in ChurchPlus and how you can add funds to your portal. Now, the first thing for us to do is to click on Accounting and go to Accounts. On the Accounts page, you get to see your accounts and your funds over here. Now, if you look at your income accounts, you'll notice that all the income account titles are here, but they all belong to one of two funds, either building fund or general fund. And also, if you look at your expense also, they all have their various names, but at the same time they belong to one of these two funds over here. So the question now is, what are funds? In simple terms, I would say funds in ChurchPlus are just a collection of related accounts so that you can easily distinguish one from the other. Okay, and there are three kinds of funds basically. There are the unrestricted fund, the temporary restricted fund, and the permanently restricted fund. Now, what is the permanently restricted fund? Take for instance, someone gives church 2 million naira, but says the 2 million naira is going to be put in the bank, and any interest that comes on that 2 million naira is for the church, but that the 2 million naira itself is not church property. Okay, now that is a permanently restricted fund, meaning the church is not allowed to touch the 2 million naira, but every interest that comes upon the 2 million naira is for the church. Take for instance, a business is open for the church and they say every profit that comes in is for the church, but the business itself is not for the church. So however that wants to go, that is permanently restricted fund. You can never touch the asset. Now for the temporary restricted fund, take for instance, church wants to buy a land and it has a land offering that it calls for every Sunday for land project. Now any money that comes in through that channel wants to be directed for the purpose of the land. Okay, you don't want to use the land money to buy fuel, neither do you want to use the land money to buy a bus. It's for the land. So it's temporarily restricted, meaning you don't want to use it for any other thing but for that particular purpose. While the unrestricted fund is the fund that church can use to run the ministry, maybe organizing crusades or paying salaries or whatever need may arise. The unrestricted fund can actually be used for those purposes. But as for the temporary restricted and the permanently restricted, as the name implies, they are restricted. So now that we know what funds are, let's say we want to create a new fund called welfare fund. Maybe we want to be able to help our members with little challenges they have as they arise, and we want to create a new fund for that particular purpose. So let's add fund, and then you see the fund type: unrestricted, permanently restricted, and temporarily restricted. Let's go for temporarily restricted since we want to use it for only welfare for members, and let's call it the welfare fund. I'm going to save this. And as you see, we have successfully added the welfare fund to our funds. So now what this means is, even if church operates one bank account and there is 1 million naira inside that bank account, church can know, okay, inside this 1 million naira, about 500,000 naira there is for the general fund and can be used for running the church, and 350,000 naira is for the building fund. That is untouchable, it's for our building project, and then the remaining amount is for our welfare fund. Okay, what this means is, even if church operates one bank account and we have just 400,000 naira inside the account, we can know that out of that 400 naira, 300,000 naira there is for building and 50,000 there is for welfare, and the only money we can use that account is 50,000 naira for general fund. And that's how you can be able to properly manage your finances as an organization. Okay, so these are your add funds in ChurchPlus. So let's say I want to add an account to the fund I just created. I'm going to come here, income, let's call this welfare, and then the fund is the welfare fund. I'm going to save this now. Now once the page loads up, and we click on income, you'd see the welfare fund here. So we've created our welfare fund. And let's say we want to add an expense account for welfare. Let's say member welfare, and let's call this still from our welfare fund. So money is going into the welfare fund from welfare and leaving from the member welfare. So this is where money leaves this welfare fund from, and that's it. So that's how you add a fund and add accounts to fund very easily. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to add transactions between all these accounts that we've just created, and that's going to be very interesting. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next one.